Well, I got to go see Newberry volcanic area and just walk around, and you can go on a trail, go all the way to the top. There's just lava flows everywhere. It's like feeling like walking on the moon or something, but someplace that just isn't of Earth. It's just so surreal. And then went over to a place called Glass Butte, and it's got that obsidian all over. You know, that black glass kind of rock volcano type. Anyway, it was quite interesting, and I had a good time, and it was not too hot and not cold at all. Like at night, I thought I was gonna freeze, but I didn't. So, made it through. Although when I was leaving, there was a lot of people that were leaving too and coming in, and those were like all the noisy partiers. So I was kind of glad to leave when I did. All right, so we are going to continue on with Enoch, and I'm going to read as far as I can, but this goes from chapter 15 to 36, and it's it's a lot more detailed, and it might take longer to go through. So we are gonna just go as far as we can go for an hour, because I know going any further than an hour, it can get too much. Okay, we have one person in here. Check this. I'm not really thinking a lot of people are going to be in here today because the weekend and people are out doing stuff, but this will be uploaded later. So here we go, chapter 15. And he answered and said to me, and I heard his voice, "Fear not, Enoch, thou righteous man, and scribe of righteousness, approach hither and hear my voice." This is what God is saying to Enoch. "And go, say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent thee to intercede for them, you should intercede for men, and not men for you." So the point is, these fallen angels just messed everything up, and they turned everything upside down. Like what's going on now with the world, everything is just, what is wrong is right, what is right is wrong, and you will see more of that as we get more into this, into our way of life and society. You will see a flip. And it is going to get much worse. I mean, right now we're just seeing the beginning. "Wherefore have ye left the high, holy, and eternal heaven?" And in Jude, this says, "You left your own habitation." Well, there's a place where these angelic beings go that come down, that are supposed to help and intercede for men, humankind. But these did it, and it went against the redemption plan as well. In the first earth age, because of Satan's rebellion, there was a redemption plan made, that Christ himself would come through the womb of woman with the lineage that he picked out with the Adam and Eve, the Ha-Adam, and would go until he was born. And that was the redemption plan for us as well. Everybody to be redeemed has to come to earth in flesh and be born of woman. And these fallen angels did it. Okay, holy and eternal heaven, and lain with women. So somehow they were able to procreate. Their bodies, I'm trying to think. When I was up there, there were men and there were women that had, um, hi, how you doing? There were men and women up there. The angels themselves that went before Christ, there were 7 of them. And as I was watching my angel, I nicknamed Lurch, he was a male and then he turned into a female. And it was very confusing, but I was told that is what I needed to see the most. So not the male influence, but the female influence. And so at this time, when we do get into tribulation, hi Michael, you may have an angel that is a female or a male, but they are assigned to you. So, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, and taken to yourselves wives, and done like the children of the earth. Is very bad. And begotten giants as your sons. So this mixture with the angelic host and with the flesh created these giants. Oh, why is your message retracted? I don't know. YouTube must be taken away. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry about that. You know, and I'm sorry about last week. This guy, Billy Hill, I have no idea who he is, but he was obviously a troll. And so I'll be watching the chat a little bit more. Yeah. Hello, Amanda. I hope you guys are having a really nice weekend. I don't know. I was so happy to be able to just get out and just get away from life in general and just eat s'mores and sit around the campfire. It was really fun. Okay, so they had begotten these hybrids, and these hybrids were half angelic and half angel. And as you know, we have 2 bodies. We have a spirit body, and the flesh body covers it, and it works together. So that combination with these angelic hosts made super beings, and this is where the myths and things like that from Greece and all these types of tyrant giants and these mini gods. I only missed a few minutes. Yeah, haven't been going too long. And though ye were wholly spiritual, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourselves with the blood of women, and have begotten children with the blood of flesh. And as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also who die and perish. So we're still in a fallen state. They, as watchers, may have been a type of angel that, like around the throne of God, who, well, they don't need to be tested. They've already been tested, and that's their role, to be around the throne of God. So these might have been them, but because in the spiritual realm in the first earth age, there were so many that went with Satan that God was like, well, we've got to test everybody in the flesh, um, to see who are you going to worship. There are three kinds of people. There are ones that went with Satan. There are ones that just middle of the ground. They don't really make any choice or anything until it affects them, and those are the lukewarm. And then those who are the ones that are listening probably right now are the ones who are the remnant, either the 144,000 or the 7,000. They have a special unction and they've already been tested. Especially the 7,000, those are the ones like Abraham and Moses and things like that, to carry specifically the word of God on. And then when they die, somebody else picks that up. But since we're reaching to the end, this is the last generation. Okay, therefore I have given them wives also, that they might impregnate them and beget children by them, and thus nothing might be wanting to them on earth. But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world. And therefore I have not appointed wives for you. And I want to say this, when during the millennium, there will be like the angels, where we will no longer marry or have children or anything. And so you'll be with your relatives, your blood relatives, unless you're adopted, and then you're adopted to that family. So it'll be a lot different. For as for the spiritual ones of the heaven, in heaven is their dwelling. And now the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh, shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. So these evil spirits are nothing but these fallen, not the fallen angels, but these are the giants that lived. They weren't able to go up. So when you see the wicked, hi from Turkey, awesome, welcome. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men, and from the holy watchers is their beginning and primal origin. They shall be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. So that's where they all come from, and there's not evil spirits around every corner or bush, but they're there. You can absolutely be bothered by them if you let them. And you can be possessed by them because they're looking for a flesh body. Oh no, another message was retracted. Isn't that weird? YouTube. As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth, on the earth shall be their dwelling. So they're not able to go up. And the spirits of the giants afflict. I'll just think about the New World Order right now, what's happening, and the spiritual kind of feeling that we're getting right now, which is going to get 10 times worse. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men, and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. So, if you get like an evil spirit in your house, which, you know, these days they can piggyback on someone's back and come through into your house from someone else. So be careful who you invite into your house, and cleanse your house from time to time, especially now. James does a very good job at explaining how to anoint and to anoint your house and protect your house. And I do that. I go to every border of my property and I cleanse and I command things out. How to do that? I can do a show about that. It's not really hard, and there is a little bit that you have to do in preparing, but it's not hard at all. And actually, you can take a vial with you. So if you're like in a hotel room or something and you feel something evil, then you can command it out. So, and you can command it. You know, all these exorcists and things like this is from the Roman Catholic Church. And they're not really, I mean, I don't want to say this, but it's not that hard to do. You don't have to go through all that ritual. These are traditions of men that have started it. It is so much easier because all you need to do is dab some oil on a person who is possessed and command it out. And you don't want to talk to these evil spirits. You just don't listen because they have knowledge. You know, you see these people who have said that they like being reincarnated and they know they were this other person and things like that. It could be that that person, that evil entity was with that person, so he knows or she knows everything about that person, and so it's afflicting another person. So if you allow yourself to listen to it and be part of it, you know, it just gets worse. And because we're only appointed to come down here once and to die. So, okay, chapter 16. From the days of the slaughter and destruction and death of the giants, from the souls of whose flesh the spirits, having gone forth, shall destroy without incurring judgment. Thus shall they destroy until the day of consummation, the great judgment in which the age shall be consummated. Over the watchers and the godless, yea, shall be wholly consummated. So this is at the great white throne judgment. So right now it's building up and people are being influenced by these evil spirits. And hello, following my Lord Daisy or Stacy. Nice to see you. I'm glad you got in here. And now as the watchers who have set thee to intercede for them, who have been at aforetime in heaven, say to them, you have been in heaven, but all the mysteries had not yet been revealed to you. And you knew worthless ones, and these in the hardness of your hearts you have made known to the women. And through these mysteries women and men work much evil on earth. Say to them, therefore, you have no peace. The reason why they have no peace is because Christ, God is peace. So he's taking them and putting them aside. Chapter 17. And they took and brought me to a place in which those who were there were like flaming fire. And when they wished, they appeared as men. See, they can appear as really anything. My sister had an angel. Mine was just big lurch. Um, my sister's angel was about the size of us, but constantly changed. I mean, just into all these things and just always going like this. And I told him, you know, people would like you better if you just stayed at one, you know, or you hold it as long as you can. So I'm sure, though, if they present themselves in the real world, like in our world, they're able to stay as somebody needs them to look. I don't know. It's crazy though. The spiritual world is way, way different, and it's only a veil away. It is so close. I was telling you before, um, while Lurch and my sister's angel were kind of consulting us before we went into our body, we were sitting in our room, and the boys came in to molest and do what else. And Lurch was standing there, but we were so close. Hi, Lisa. I'm glad you made it. I don't know. I think the weekends are better, but my weekends are always so busy. I try to get I love doing these special types of shows. But the veil is so close that I thought that even if I made a move that they could hear me. And that's how they can come up to you and whisper and control you, because it's a spiritual. If you've ever met a really evil person, you can just see it written all over their face. It's just something about their eyes, something about just this. I don't know. I don't know if it's an aura or what, but it's something that you can pick up. Once you start discerning and be able to see that, it's just like, it's not scary, but it's like it, and I've been seeing it a lot. It's this spiritual oppressive type of spirit. And those who are affected, you can see it in the leaders, just the way that they just look at a picture of George Soros, or, which I really believe he is a Kenite. It's hard to explain, but you'll start understanding this, and you may already know. Bill Gates, it's a good one. Just look at a picture of him, several pictures, and you'll pick it up. It's just like, boom. And you'll see the division also with the mask, no mask, and some people are just so blown up about this. Like, you have to comply. But they get this weird, grinchy, weird around them. And like, people that I know, like in my family, have gotten that and they've changed. Mark Zuckerberg. Yep. And those people have it really bad. But you'll notice, remember I was telling you about the sin of the world that's going to be falling down as ash. That's already happening, but it's not to the extent of the blizzard stage. But your family members might change, and you'll sense the evil, because you'll be walking in righteousness, and if they're not in contact with God, they're just going the other way. Yeah, Joe Biden is kind of a weird one. I don't know. I think he's a puppet, you know. He's just, it's not him per se, but it's the people behind him. You know, that's why they're willing to vote for him, because it's the agenda that they're voting for. And I believe that Trump will be reelected, but that's also going to cause a lot of problems, and we will end up in war. Either way, if Biden got reelected, the things that he would implement would cause a war, and the things that Trump is trying to keep in control is going to cause a war. So we're heading there, whether it's next year or in a couple years, it's just the building up of that. And I think it's good because we're getting prepared. We're getting our spiritual eyes opened, and the learning period is right now. They call it the latter day rain, and here we are in it. Okay, and they brought me to the place of darkness and to a mountain, the point of whose summit reached to heaven. And I saw the places of the luminaries and the treasuries of the stars and of the thunder and in the utmost depths, where were a fiery bow and arrows in their quiver and a fiery sword and all the lightnings. And they took me to the living waters. There's up in paradise right now, there is a living water. It starts out, there's up above on this mount is the temple and the different areas of the temple. And it slopes down, and then it comes out like a little hole, and it goes out into a stream. And as it keeps going, it gets wider and deeper, and pretty soon you won't be able to cross. But that is coming down to earth when Christ returns. So I'm sure it's going to be kind of set up the same way with the living water, but all those up there right now are enjoying that. And I told you in one of my videos, we were allowed to go walk in there, and I was walking to about knee deep, and I turned my back, and I'm like, I wonder if he'd know if I just tasted a little drop. He's like, don't drink the water. And I was a kid. I wouldn't do it now, but back then it was so messed up. And anyway, a little drop hit my tongue, and things in my very spirit started changing, and he turned around and he was so angry at me. He like got us out of the water, but it's so hard to even describe. It really does change you, and I don't know if it's like changed me forever, but I think it probably wears off, and that's why you always have to go and drink out of the water, and Christ is the living water. But there's a lot of spiritual different things, because down on earth we need water, but up in paradise we need water. We need that living water. Okay, to the living waters and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. And I came to a river of fire, in which the fire flows like water and discharges itself into the great sea towards the west. I saw the great rivers and came to the great river and to the great darkness. That the great darkness could be outer space, or it could be where the holding place where men have died. Some are redeemed. Well, nobody was really able to get out of that spot until Christ died. And when Christ died, he went down there and preached to everyone and got those who heard the truth out. Same thing will happen during the millennium. So after Christ's death, those who didn't hear the truth, who ended up on the wrong side, have the opportunity to learn and to get out of there. And went to the place where no flesh walks, because it's a spiritual place. I saw the mountains of the darkness of winter, and the place whence all the waters of the deep flow. I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth and the mouth of the deep. Get those aquifers underneath. Okay, chapter 18. I saw the treasuries of all the winds. I saw how he had furnished with them the whole creation and the firm foundations of the earth. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth. Now with this, God is our cornerstone. He is the one, the rock that we need to stand on, stand firm. Satan's going to come here and say he's the cornerstone. Don't believe it. I saw the four winds which bear the earth and the firmament of the heaven. And I saw how the winds stretch out the vaults of heaven and have their station between heaven and earth. These are the pillars of the heaven. I saw the winds of heaven which turn and bring the circumference of the sun and all the stars to their settings. So everything is under control, set to its due time and season. I saw the winds on the earth carrying the clouds. I saw the paths of the angels. See, they're able to come down if they need to help you, and you may need it. I'm telling you, it's going to get bad. So get ready. I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of the heaven above, and I proceeded and saw a place which burns day and night, where there are 7 mountains of magnificent stones, 3 towards the east and 3 towards the south. And as for those towards the east was a colored stone, one of pearl and one of jacinth, and those towards the south of red stone. But the middle one reached to heaven like the throne of God of alabaster, and the summit of the throne was of sapphire. And I saw a flaming fire. Now, when I was up there, I saw mountains spread out. This was, we had like trails where you could walk up to the mountains. I didn't see them as flaming fire or of stone and stuff, but I'm just wondering if that has anything to do with like the different nations, because mountains are kind of an analogy of nations. So, and maybe where the nations go, you know, maybe that's their spot when they die, because they won't be together with us. They'll be in their own tribes. And that makes sense to me. And beyond these mountains is a region, the end of the great earth. There the heavens were completed. And I saw a deep abyss with columns of heavenly fire, and among them I saw columns of fire fall, which were beyond measure alike towards the height and towards the depth. And beyond that abyss I saw a place which had no firmament of the heaven above, and no firmly founded earth beneath it. There was no water upon it, and no birds, but it was a waste and horrible place. Okay, that's the holding spot. And when I saw the bad side, it was like smooth stone, like in caves, but smooth stone that went into like a labyrinth, into different places. I saw there 7 stars like great burning mountains, and to me, when I was inquiring regarding them, the angel said, "This place is the end of heaven and earth. This has become a prison for the stars and the host of heaven. See? And it wasn't made for us, but it turned out. And the stars which roll over the fire are they which have transgressed the commandment of the Lord in the beginning of their rising, because they did not come forth at their appointed times. Well, this is where the fallen angels are appointed to go. And he was wroth with them and bound them till the time when their guilt should be consummated, even for 10,000 years. Chapter 19. So I think some of them have been bound until judgment, but many of these are going to be set loose and accompany Satan when he comes down. Chapter 19. And Uriel said to me, Here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women, and their spirits assuming many different forms. See? Assuming different forms, defiling mankind, and shall lead them astray into the sacrificing to demons as God. Here shall they stand till the day of the great judgment, in which they shall be judged till they are made an end of. And the women also of the angels who went astray shall become sirens. Not sure what that means, sirens. See, that's, if you had the original, you could go back and find out what that actually means. And I, Enoch, alone saw the vision, the ends of all things, and no man shall see as I have. So Enoch is basically written for the 7,000 who will be standing up against Satan and allowing the Holy Spirit to speak through us. But we have to be wise and we have to know what's coming. Okay, chapter 20. And these are the names of the holy angels who watch. Uriel, one of the holy angels, who is over the world and over Tartarus. That's hell, basically, Tartarus. Raphael, one of the holy angels, who is over the spirits of men. Raguel, one of the holy angels who takes vengeance on the world of the luminaries. Michael, one of the holy angels, to wit, he that is set over the best part of mankind and over chaos. Sarakiel, one of the holy angels, who is set over the spirits, who sin in the spirit. Evil. Gabriel, one of the holy angels, who is over paradise and the serpents and the cherubim. Ramiel, one of the holy angels, whom God set over those who rise. So everything has its order. Chapter 21. And I proceeded to where things were chaotic, and I saw there something horrible. I saw neither a heaven above nor a firmly founded earth, but a place chaotic and horrible. And there I saw 7 stars of the heaven bound together in it, like great mountains and burning with fire. Then I said, For what sin are they bound, and on what account have they been cast in hither? Then said Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, and was chief over them, and said, Enoch, why dost thou ask, and why art thou eager for the truth? These are of the number of the stars of heaven, which have transgressed the commandment of the Lord, and are bound here till 10,000 years. The time entailed by their sins are consummated. And from thence I went to another place, which was still more horrible than the former, and I saw a horrible thing, a great fire there which burnt and blazed, and the place was cleft as far as the abyss, being full of great descending columns of fire, neither its extent or magnitude could I see, nor could I conjecture. It's like the bottomless pit. Then I said, how fearful is the place, and how terrible to look upon. Then Uriel answered me, one of the holy angels who was with me, and said unto me, Enoch, why hast thou such fear and affright? And I answered, because of this fearful place, and because of the spectacle of the pain. And he said unto me, this place is the prison of the angels, and here they will be imprisoned forever. Chapter 22. And thence I went to another place, and he mountain, and hold on, is that a typo? And thence I went to another place, and he mountain, and of hard rock, and he mountain, and of hard rock, and the mountain, and I don't know, I'm gonna read this again. And thence I went to another place. I'm gonna just put the instead of he. And the mountain, and of hard rock. And there was in it 4 hollow places, deep and wide and very smooth. How smooth are the hollow places, and deep and dark to look at. Then Raphael answered, one of the holy angels who was with me, and said unto me, these hollow places have been created for this very purpose, that the spirits of the souls of the dead should assemble therein, yea, that all souls of the children of men should assemble here. And these places have been made to receive them till the day of their judgment, until their appointed period, till the period appointed, till the great judgment comes upon them. See, this is a place where there's different areas in this place. Some are better. As you go out further, it gets worse and darker. And before Christ came here, this is where the dead went. But with Christ, who came and saved us, he got every one of them out who believed on him. And now the holding place is for those during the millennium to hear the truth. Okay, I saw the spirit of a dead man making suit, and his voice. And the weird thing is it's like when they're in there, they can't see the people around them. They're like in a deep sleep, in a nightmare, going over unrepented sins. And what you did to other people is done to you by evil spirits. And his voice went forth to heaven and made suit. And I asked Raphael, the angel who was with me, and I said unto him, this spirit which maketh suit, who is it, whose voice goes forth and maketh suit to heaven? And he answered me, saying, This is the spirit which went forth from Abel. See there, the holding spot, whom his brother Cain slew, and he makes his suit against him till his seed is destroyed from the face of the earth. Cain's seed is Satan's seed, which are the Kenites. And these Kenites are the ones who have killed all the prophets from the beginning, from Abel, all through the Bible, and even now. And his seed is annihilated from amongst the seed of men. And I asked regarding it, and regarding all the hollow places, why is one separated from the other? And he answered me and said unto me, these 3 have been made that the spirits of the dead might be separated. And such a division have been made for the spirits of the righteous, see? In which there is the bright spring of water. And such has been made for sinners when they die and are buried in the earth, and judgment has not been executed on them in their lifetime. Here their spirits shall be set apart in this great pain till the great day of judgment and punishment and torment. Now they're talking about the evil and those who didn't go with Christ when he went down to get out the righteous. Till the great day of judgment and punishment and torment of those who curse forever, ever, and retribution of their spirits. There he shall bind them forever. And such a division has been made for the spirits of those who made their suit, who made disclosures concerning their destruction, and when they were slain in the days of the sinners. Such has been made for the spirits of men who were not righteous but sinners, who were complete in transgression, and of the transgressors they shall be companions. But their spirits shall not be slain in the day of judgment, nor shall they be raised from thence. Then I blessed the Lord of glory and said, Blessed be my Lord, the Lord of righteousness, who ruleth. So there are those who learned the truth in the time of before Christ, who went directly against Christ, and those aren't redeemable. But those who never heard the truth, and when Christ taught, when he went down to Hades and taught, he brought out a multitude of people, and they're in paradise now, waiting to come back. And those who have died after Christ, some are in this holding spot, but those who learned the truth, who knew the truth, and died in their sins, they're way, way back. But those who never heard the truth but died in their sins, they have the opportunity to hear the truth and come out during the millennium. Okay, chapter 23. From thence I went to another place to the west of the ends of the earth, and I saw a burning fire which ran without resting, and paused not from its course day or night, but ran regularly, or no stopping. And I asked, saying, What is this which rests not? Then Raguel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered me and said unto me, This course of fire which thou hast seen in the fire in the west, which persecutes all the luminaries of heaven. Chapter 24. Wow, it's almost been an hour. Went fast. And from thence I went to another place of the earth, and he showed me a great mountain range of fire, which burnt day and night. And I went beyond it and saw 7 magnificent mountains, all differing each from the other, and the stones thereof were magnificent and beautiful, magnificent as a whole, of glorious appearance and fair exterior. 3 towards the east, one founded on the other, and 3 towards the south, one upon the other, and deep rough ravines, no one of which joined with each other. And the 7th mountain was in the midst of these, and it excelled them in height, resembling the seat of a throne, and fragrant trees encircled the throne. And amongst them was a tree such as I have never yet smelt, neither was any amongst them, nor were others like it. It had a fragrance beyond all fragrance, and its leaves and blooms and wood wither not forever. And its fruit is beautiful, and its fruit in resemblance the dates of a palm. Then I said, How beautiful is this tree, and fragrant, and its leaves are fair, and it blooms very delightful in appearance. Then answered Michael, one of the holy and honored angels who was with me, and was their leader. Going to chapter 5 now. I hope there aren't any trolls in there. Gonna look real quick. Okay, looks good. Okay, chapter 25. And he said unto me, Enoch, why dost thou ask me regarding the fragrance of the tree? And why dost thou wish to learn the truth? Then I answered him, saying, I wish to know about everything, but especially about this tree. And he answered, saying, This high mountain which thou hast seen, whose summit is like the throne of God, is his throne, where the holy great one, the Lord of God, the eternal King, will sit when he shall come down to visit the earth with goodness. And as for this fragrant tree, no mortal is permitted to touch it till the great judgment, when he shall take vengeance on all and bring everything to its consummation forever. The great white throne judgment. It shall then be given to the righteous and holy. Its fruit shall be for food to the elect. It shall be transplanted to the holy place, to the temple of the Lord, the eternal King. So Christ is king priest. When Satan comes here, he's going to say he's the king priest. He's going to say this is the millennium, but you know, if you're still in your spiritual body or it's in your flesh body, just know that that is the fake. In fact, a fake. Then shall they rejoice with joy and be glad, and into the holy place shall they enter, and its fragrance shall be in their bones, and they shall live a long life on earth, such as thy fathers lived, 1,000 years. One day with the Lord is as 1,000 years. So, and the thing about this is basically we'll all live to 1,000 years, but those coming out of the Gulf area, the bad side, will have to be tested. And once they're tested, then they'll join everyone else with their immortal bodies. And in their days shall no sorrow or plague or torment or calamity touch them. And the reason why is because Satan will be locked away. He will be sealed. So not even his spirit can get anybody, can influence anybody. But when he comes out for a short season after the millennium is over and the time of teaching and discipline, then he comes out and he will be full bore. Then blessed I the God of glory and the eternal King, who hath prepared such things for the righteous, and hath created them and promised to give them. So the millennium is going to be pretty awesome. But eternity will be much better. But you will get a taste of the good things. And whoever goes bad during the millennium, I mean, I couldn't imagine, but people will. Okay, I think we have more time. Yep, chapter 26. And I went from thence to the middle of the earth, and I saw a blessed place in which there were trees with branches abiding and blooming of a dismembered tree. And there I saw a holy mountain, and underneath the mountain to the east there was a stream, and it flowed towards the south. And I saw towards the east another mountain higher than this, and between them a deep and narrow ravine. In it also ran a stream underneath the mountain, and to the west thereof there was another mountain, lower than the former, and of small elevation, and a ravine deep and dry between them. And another deep and dry ravine was at the extremities of the three mountains, and all the ravines were deep, ran nor narrow, being formed of hard rock, and trees were not planted upon them. And I marveled at the rocks, and I marveled at the ravine. Yea, I marveled very much. Let's see, chapter 27. Then said I, for what object is this blessed land, which is entirely filled with trees, and this accursed valley between? Then Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered and said, this accursed valley is for those who are accursed forever. Here shall all the accursed be gathered together, who utter with their lips against the Lord unseemly words, and of his glory speak hard things. Here shall they be gathered together, and here shall be their place of judgment. In the last days there shall be upon them the speckle of righteous judgment in the presence of the righteous forever. Here shall the merciful bless the Lord of glory, the eternal King. In the days of judgment over the former, they shall bless him for the mercy in accordance with which he was assigned them in their lot. Then I blessed the Lord of glory and set forth his glory and lauded him gloriously. So, I'll read one more chapter. It's small. Chapter 28. And thence I went toward the east in the midst of the mountain range of the desert, and I saw a wilderness, and it was solitary, full of trees and plants, and water gushed forth from above, rushing like a copious watercourse, which flowed toward the north. West it caused clouds and dew to ascend on every side. See how intriguing this gets? I'm just going to read chapter 29 because it's small. And thence I went to another place in the desert and approached to the east of this mountain range. And there I saw aromatic trees exhaling the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh, and the trees also were similar to the almond tree. So our treasures are up in heaven right now waiting for us for the millennium. We'll get all of our things in the eternity. So at this point, bad things are going to happen. People are going to try to mess you up. But just remember what you're here for, what everything you need to do, and just learn and keep learning and learning until the sixth trump. Yeah, all the praise and glory to God. Exactly, because he is knowledge and wisdom, and his spirit is the one that gives you everything that you need, even your very substance, your food. So you don't have to worry. Whatever happens, it's for a reason. And if you're watching this and you're learning this, more than likely you are a very elect. So I think that we're starting on a good path. If we have a couple of years of doing this, just think, we're going to be so prepared and ready that nothing will stand in our way. And so next Wednesday, the 9th, I will be here again at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and then I'll be on Friday, and then on the 14th I'll start on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I'll put in a special show or whatever, sometimes on the weekends, and have a chat, talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, and spiritual stuff, talk about heaven, or if anybody else has had like a near-death experience or whatever, just gather together and be able to just learn from each other, learn from God, and we will be set. Okay guys, it's been an hour, and I will see you again on Wednesday. And I hope that you have a really nice time this weekend. Enjoy it. Be blessed, okay? See you soon.